What's up, Guardians? Welcome to another competitive Destiny gameplay video. In this video I'm going to be continuing my One Man's Trash series, focusing on the primed Suros JJ76. And this one actually has some decent rolls on it. I got lightweight, which I love, and glass half full, which is another good perk. And then this here is the bronzed Nox Volo. I'll show you a little bit of this as well in this gameplay. And lately I've gotten away from fusion rifles, but trying to pick them back up and see how they are after the latest patch, and they certainly were heavily affected, and but still effective. And here's a good example of an effective blue one. So here's the Suros JJJ and the Black Suros. I really like this. The look of it. Personally, aesthetics are important to me. And yes, I am a stats junkie. Yes, I want to have the best weapon, and yes, I want to do the best and perform the best. But at the same time, I really want to have a weapon that looks really hardcore while I'm killing people. And surprisingly, I think that the Black Suros, it looks more like a legendary AR than it does a blue AR, a blue rarity. And I really like the look of it. I think it's really slick looking. It has the crucible variant colors on it with the red and the blue. Looks pretty sick. The stability on it is off the charts. It's great. You can hold it stable, and here you see I'm just turning around and running away from Axion bolts and put this box in between the two of us. I think that's this guy was red bar really hardcore. I was like, what is going on? But anyways, he managed to die like several seconds later, like you see there. But laggers, what can you do? Anyways, that's the Nox Volo. Does pretty well in close quarters. If you can anticipate your enemy's motion, then you should be okay. The Black Suros does really well. Very stable, easy to train on someone's head, and then continue to get your precision shots and drop them pretty quickly. Feels to me like a solid AR. Feels no different than some of the legendary variants that have similar stats. The glass half full perk is great because once you get them past, once you get your magazine past half, you start to do additional damage. A little bit of extra precision damage goes a long way when you're doing headshots with a fully automatic weapon. So I'm having a lot of fun playing with it right now. It's a good gun to play with. And in this video you'll see it and the Nox Volo kind of doing. You can see the range is significantly worse on fusion rifles, as you saw there. After that latest patch, the spread on those projectiles is much more pronounced. Makes it harder to get those kills from that far away. This guy Nova bombs the heavy because I came into their spawn and grabbed their heavy, and I was not there anymore, so he looked kind of silly throwing a Nova bomb where heavy used to be, and then no one's there. Anyways, so you'll see some of those guns this year. This isn't a blue one. This is my new Yolder's hammer. It's totally vanilla in this gameplay. I didn't have any abilities unlocked on it yet, but I like the rolls I got on this, and hopefully you guys got some good stuff out of the Iron Banner this week as well. If you did, throw a comment down. Let me know what you got and how you're liking it so far. So I'm enjoying my new Yolder's. It's a good step up from my last one. So anyways, at the same time, you're going to see footage of the Black Suros and the Nox Volo here in control, and then you're also going to see I took it into skirmish and had some really good skirmish games using the two of them as well, and I'll show you one of my 18-1 skirmish games and that I played with some of my friends. It was a good match. At the same time, I figured I'd go ahead and continue the Let's Talk series. I kind of like pairing up the One Man's Trash and the Let's Talk at the same time. I don't know why I walked into that trip mine. It was glowing nice and bright, and I guess maybe I thought it could potentially have been a teammate's, but I didn't take the time to shoot it, and that's shame on me for being stupid enough to walk into it. But I wanted to continue the Let's Talk series, and now I wanted to talk about stats, because if you spend any amount of time on the forums, and if you make any kind of comments, eventually someone is probably going to say, well, your opinion doesn't matter because you're a shotgun scrub. According to your stats, you've got 1 million shotgun kills. Or they'll say, well, and this is one that I got recently, which really confused me. And a guy was saying, it was in reaction to the crucible tips that I uploaded a couple of weeks ago. And a guy said, oh, we can't take your tips seriously. You're obviously a kill whore. You apparently just camp in the back of maps. And I'm like, what? Did you watch the footage? I was really confused. I sent him a message. I wasn't mean about it. When I get feedback like this, I try not to be a rager. Instead, I just kind of send them a message, say, hey, can you elaborate on this? I'm curious as to what you saw and why you're saying that. And the guy's response was, well, you have a whole lot more defensive kills in the control playlist than offensive kills. And so I responded to him and just kind of clarified. I said, well, that's a fair argument to make, but maybe I ought to explain what those stats mean. And kind of explain how, well, if you have more offensive kills than defensive kills in control, then that means that you're not playing control right. Because it means that you're on the offense, you're trying to take objectives more than you're trying to defend objectives that you've already capped. So in an ideal control game, in the perfect control game, right, you and your teammates go out at the very beginning and you capture 2 objectives. Say you get A and B, okay? And while you were capping B, you killed a couple of guys who were coming to take it at the same time, and you came out on top. So say you have 2 offensive kills now. And for the rest of the game, again, this is an ideal game, for the rest of the game, you and your team successfully defend those 2 objectives for the rest of the game and win the match, okay? So you're going to end up with, maybe, say 10 defensive kills where you kill guys who are trying to come in and take those objectives from you. So at the end of that perfect match that was executed flawlessly, you will have, say, 10 defensive kills and only 2 offensive kills. That's playing control right. And even in a not-so-ideal, in the average game where you win, you're going to end up with, maybe 60% of your total defensive kills will be equal to your total offensive kills. That's a good stat to have. You want to have more defensive kills than offensive kills in control. So anyways, people are always kind of moaning about stats and saying, well, your KD's low. If your KD is low, don't be ashamed of it. There's plenty of things you can do to bring that up, but what we really ultimately have to remember is that we're playing the video game to have fun. And just because your KD is low, it doesn't mean that your opinions on PvP are invalid. And you can still have some good, solid input. So, what's a good KD? Well, that depends. What's a good KD to you? One of the things that I tell people all the time is, if you really do want to get competitive in PvP, what you need to do is look at your stats and then set goals for yourself. And that's one of the things that I actively do. I pull up my DTR stats all the time, and I look at individual stats and try and figure out what they might indicate about my gameplay. And then I try to think, okay, well, where do I want that stat to be? And so I'll set goals for myself. Like, well, by the end of the week, I'd really like to have my overall skirmish KD up to 2.8, right? And then I'll specifically go out and play a lot of skirmish for that week and try and actively pull that stat up. So that's just some of my thoughts on stats. Hope this was helpful for you guys. Look out for these weapons. They just might serve you very well in the Crucible. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Appreciate it.